Good day, children. I am hoping that you are all good today or you are feeling better today and you are happy to see me today. By the way, I am Mrs. Kubakub. I am going to be your English teacher and welcome to English Grade 5. Today, we are going to learn more about filling out forms accurately. Remember your Module 1. With this, in this lesson, you will be able to fill out forms accurately and appreciate the importance of filling out forms. One of the forms that we are going to learn today is the personal information sheet. So in your module, you have noticed that you have seen the pupil's information sheet already. Have you ever tried to answer that? Okay, yes, you have already answered that because in the information, in the instruction, you have to answer it by yourself. But what is an information sheet? Let's read together the answer to the question. An information sheet is given by an entity to an individual for them to have a record of someone's basic personal information. This information will be used for the transaction that is needed to be processed by the entity, which can occur in different fields and circumstances. Have you ever wondered or thought about why your previous teachers asked you or let you fill out or write down on a simple sheet of paper some of the information that is already I have mentioned a while ago, okay, such as your birthday, your full name, your address, your parents' names, and their contact numbers? Yes? Very good. You have a good memory. Okay? The school asks or gather important information such as your full name, your birth date, and your address, your complete address, your parents' names, and the contact numbers of your parents, and also as your own contact numbers because I believe that you have already your own cell phones. These informations are needed in case your parents needed to be called, for example, in parent-teacher meeting or in emergency cases. These emergency cases are those cases that when you are in the class, you feel sick. Okay? Now, so what are the information needed and how are we going to write this correctly in the form? Most of the time, your surname is being asked first. And what is a surname? A surname refers to your last name or your family name. Usually, this is the name of your father, the last name of your father. And we have the first name, your own given name. Your parents gave you a name or full name. That is the first name that you have. That is your first name. And usually, you have one or two or three names given to you by your parents. So you have to include that also in your data or in your form. Another one is this, MI, meaning your middle initial. This is the first letter of your mother's family name. For example, we have here Martinez Carmencita A. Martinez is her surname or last name. Carmencita is her first name and A is her middle initial. Did you get it? I hope that you get yes. Okay, very good. Another set of important information is you have to write your age. Okay, how are you going to write your age? Write your age in number form. For example, if you are 10 years old, you write 10, the number 10 on the form. Another is your gender or your sex. Okay? For example, when you are asked to write or you put a check there on the box, you choose your gender. M for male or boy, F for female for girl. Or sometimes in some instance, you are going to write your gender. So again, you write M for male, F for female. Another one is your residence or your complete home address. So you have to write your complete home address. If you don't know your complete home address, you have to ask your parents. Why is this important? Because when there are emergencies that you need to that we cannot contact the phone or your parents' contact numbers, so your teacher would possibly um, accompany you home. So you have to um, give her your complete home address. Okay, another is the zip code. The zip code of Malate is 1004. Remember that? 1004. And don't forget your birth date. For the date of birth, indicate the month, the day, and the year in numbers also, as well, just like your age. For example, 7 for the month of July, 24 for the day, 1972 for year. For example, again, 7 for the month of July, 24 for the day you were born, 1972 for the year you were born. And aside from the birthday, you have to also indicate the place of birth. You have to indicate or write the city, the municipality, or the province where you were born. Even though some of you live here in Manila, but some also were born in the provinces. So you have to write there. If you were born in Manila, you write Manila, or if you're born in Bulacan, this is an example of a province, and also you write the city or the municipality of the province. For example, Marilao, Bulacan. In some cases, your citizenship or nationality is being asked, so you have to write or indicate whether you are a Filipino or other nationality or of other nationality. Okay, but I know that you are Filipino, all of you are Filipinos, so you write Filipino, the word Filipino in the form or in the needed information. Another is I think one of the most important information that you should not forget is the name of your mother and the name of your father. So you write the full names of your mother and father. Okay? So do the same in writing like your name. You write the last name and their first name and their middle initial. So I believe that all of you, have already understood our lesson, and let's proceed to the next slide. In addition to those information that we have discussed, you have to write your signature over your printed name. Don't forget that. So how are you going to write that? Okay, so example here is John Mark D. de la Cruz. You have noticed that he has his name printed and he has his signature over his printed name. And beside his printed name is the date that he signed this personal data sheet. So do not forget to write the date you signed your name And also in some cases that in personal data sheet, your siblings are asked, or your brother's names or your sister's names, so you just have to write them their names and printed also. And if there are information that you think that not applicable, meaning you think that are not important for you, you just have to write an A so that you won't leave any blank in the personal information sheet. So are you ready to have an activity? So let's have this activity 1. All you have to do is to fill out the form on the next slide. Complete it by using the possible answers found in the word list. Use the form provided to you. What I want you to do here in this slide is to write this information on the right side, or on the information above me, to put this in the personal information correctly. Okay? So what do you think is the name of the child? Or what grade and section is he in? What do you think is his age, his gender or sex? And his teacher. What do you think is the name of his teacher? His complete address. Make sure that his address is complete together with the name of the number of the house or the residency, and also his birthday, his telephone number, and the school. Did you get all right? Do you think your answers are all correct? Okay, let's try to see if you are correct. Okay, let's go to the next slide to find out if your answers are all correct. Now, are your answers are all correct? Yes. So, if you are all correct, if the data that you have given here are all correct, give yourself 5 claps. Again, 5 claps. Let's clap together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. You are all so amazing. You are all excellent. You are all my excellent pupils. And let's go to the next activity. Okay, so this proceeds to our activity 2. And here we are to our activity 2. Have you ever noticed that this was already flashed before? Yes, this was already flashed before, and this was already included in your module. In the first part of your module, this is already, you have seen this already, and I believe that you have already answered this before we have already met. Now, what you are going to do is to go back to this pupils information sheet and make sure that your answers are all correct. If not, you have to erase that, and you have to fill in with the correct information. So you are going to do this in offline or in our asynchronous lesson again. And for the next activity, and for your asynchronous activity, you have to answer from your module, checking your understanding. Remember, checking your understanding, A and B. We don't have page numbers on this module, so you have to find checking your understanding, A and B, and you have to be prepared on the part 2 of this lesson. Okay, see you on the part 2, and goodbye and be safe. God bless you all.